Good day, Luminary Thrivers, and welcome back to another episode of Luminary Thrivers on YouTube. So, we are on a mission to change the narrative of young entrepreneurs, helping them build successful empires. So, today's episode is just going to be about how to register your business. We're going to be going through the actual BIZPORTAL website, helping you get all of the nitty-gritties out of the way, all of the questions that you have, all of the uncertainties that you have. I'm going to be using one of my companies, BIZPORTAL, as an example on today's show. So we're going to be going through every single thing that you need on when you register your own company, and just some of the basics that you just need to keep handy are, first and foremost, there needs to be at least one director on the company. So if you have more than one director, you're going to need to have the ID documents of your ID documents and all of the other directors. If any of the directors are married, you need to have a copy of the marriage certificate ready. So it's important because there are questions that will be asked that require your ID numbers, of course. This is a legal procedure that we're going through. But also, if you are married, there's dates that are going to be asked as part of the verification question. You'll see that as we go through the portal. So, first step is to log on to your BIZPORTAL website. So, www.bizportal.gov.za. Once you are in, you'll have to register an account on the BIZPORTAL website. So, you go through that. Once you've done that, you can log in. So, press log in. Type in your South African ID number. Unfortunately, the BIZPORTAL website only assists South African citizens. If you're not a South African citizen, it's going to be important for you to use the CIPC website, and there you'll be able to get assistance and register your own business. But for today's episode, we're just going to be doing the BIZPORTAL. So enter your ID number, password. So we are in. Now, when you get to the home page, there's going to be now your information, because remember, you've registered your profile on the BIZPORTAL website. So you'll see all of your personal information there. If you've already got a company registered with the CIPC, that is linked to this BIZPORTAL website. So you'll also be able to pick that up. So now, just go to register a new company. You see on the right there, register a new company. As you land on the page, company registration, it tells you all of the details that you need to know before you start. So number one, at least one director in the company. Number two, have ID numbers ready of yourself, that director, but also of the other directors in the company, as well as marriage certificates. And then there's the name reservation. So before you start with the registration of the company, just think about whether or not you want to reserve a name for your company. So do you want it to be trading as, in my case, BIZPORTAL, or do you just want a generic name? So generic name would, in this instance, mean that your company would be trading as the CK number. CK number is a company number that you'll get after registration. So it's not essential to register a name, but that name registration or name reservation costs an extra 50 Rand. So the basic company registration is 125 Rand plus your 50 Rand. So if you do want to have a name reserved for you, you're going to have to think of 4 names. So you propose 4 names to a CIPC, and those names that are not taken already, the CIPC will say you can have this name, or this name, and you'll choose from. So in order of preference, you'll take from there. So new registration, just click on new registration. And there are all the terms and conditions. Guys, please do take some time, a few minutes, just to peruse over it, so that you understand everything. So because I've already done this before, I've already read through it, and I understand the implications of saying yes. So just click on yes. Do you agree to the terms and conditions? Continue. So there's a compensation fund here, or what the BIZPORTAL website also allows you to do is register with the compensation fund, the UIF, all of that is linked to this, as well as bank accounts. So as we go through, I'll explain it. But the compensation fund is it basically applies when you have employees. This ensures that should anything go wrong whilst your employees are on the job, that they are covered. If you don't have employees, just say no and continue. So then there's a UIF terms and conditions as well. Please read through those as well. Yes or no and continue. So what kind of company are we registering today? We're going to be registering a private company. So for the purposes of this exercise, private company and not a non-profit organization. Non-profit organizations require a minimum of 3 directors, but we're not going to be going into that today. And also remember that first corporations don't exist anymore. If you're a sole proprietor, that means you're acting in your own capacity, or you're using yourself as the service or resource. So you don't need to register that. So the private company, and click on private company, say continue. And then it requires you to enter the ID numbers of all of the directors on this company, or that you intend to have on this company. And it's linked to the Home Affairs website, or Home Affairs portal as well. So just make sure that everything is typed in correctly, because it's going to pull all of those that information from Home Affairs to make sure. So like I said, if anyone is married, make sure that they are there. If they're foreign citizens, it's not going to allow you to proceed. So type in your ID number there of the director. So we've added the director. On this company, there's only one director, myself. So we're going to be using my ID number to say, put that in, continue, and then it's going to pull all the information out that is required by Home Affairs. So which date was the ID number issued? So this information you'll find on your ID document. So I've got a copy of my ID document on my phone. So I'm just going to quickly grab the date issued from my ID, the copy of my ID document, and enter that into the CIPC, or BIZPORTAL, website. So enter in the right format, otherwise I'm going to allow you to continue as well. And then click verify. So then it's going to ask you a lot of personal details about that particular director. So in this instance, it's me, so I know all of my details. If you're not the only director, just make sure to so let me just read through it so that you see. The director's cell phone number, the director's email address, director's physical address, the town that this director resides in, the province the director resides in, and the postal code. So just make sure that you have all of those details handy before you start registering. So director's cell phone number, that's my cell phone number. And this is important so that all communication that they have can come to you, along with the email address. They don't send a lot of SMSs, but they do communicate via email very often. All of the documents that you're going to be needing, they'll send via email. So make sure that you've got that right. Just enter your address right as well, or the address that you would like, the address actually first, your address, and then the address of the business after here. So click continue, and the next page is then your company details, company registration details. So which month do you want your financial year end to be? The general financial year end is February, so the end of February, the 28th of February. A lot of companies end their financial year then. It's entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong when it comes to this. So I'm just going to set it as February as well. And then the next question is how many shares, how many authorized shares will be issued. So for now, just stick to a basic amount of 100. Don't go to 1,000. Don't go try and come up with your own amounts. 100 is perfect for now. And when you need to increase the shares, you can always go back and change that at a later stage. So what's the physical address of the company? Where will the company be operating from? So now make sure this is a permanent place that you're at, and not some place that you're just flying by, because it does end up catching up with you when you need to submit documents and you don't have those documents. So just make sure it's a place that you are able to get documentation for. So I'm just going to quickly enter those details. So now, if your postal address is different to your physical address, you're just going to type in your postal address. If it's the same as your physical address, just say tick yes, same as physical address, and then it will automatically enter the information for you. Then continue. So now we get to choose our names. Do you have a name in mind that you'd like to choose? Have you already reserved a name? So you can reserve a name before you even start registering your company. If you want to apply for a new name, that's also an option right here. Or you can say register without a name. So I'm going to apply for a new name right here because I haven't registered mine. So click the second option, apply for a new name. And then again, remember, in order of preference, select your first proposed name. So I'm going to just type in Dipalesa Blooms as my first name. My second proposed name, let's say Dipalesa Florals. My third proposed name, let's do something different as you can get. Palesa. Palesa Florals. And for my fourth and last proposed name, I'm going to type in something else. Let's use Pali Pali Florals. And continue. So then it's going to show you all of the names that were approved and those that weren't. Fortunately, in my case, all of them are good to go. So Dipalesa Blooms is my first option, and I'm going to say continue. So as soon as you say continue, you should get an SMS with your reserved name options and the approved ones. Okay, and then on to the next step. So after having reserved your name, then you're going to be entering your details of your employees if you have any. So because Dipalesa is new and we haven't really started operating at a large scale, we don't have any employees for Dipalesa. So right now, I'm going to say no, we don't have any employees. There is no one employed by Dipalesa Flowers or Dipalesa Blooms. You know, this is one step that everyone stresses about, but this portal and CIPC have helped us with it. It's going to ask you if you want a BBBEE certificate. Hasn't your life become that much easier? Just click on yes. Get it out of the way, done and dusted. So fill in all of the shareholders' details, black, young, disabilities, military veterans. It's going to ask you all of those questions. And then once the company has been approved, it's going to send you a BBBEE certificate. Let me just enter mine quickly. So according to BIZPORTAL, I am a level 1 BBBEE contributor. Say continue. And then it's going to ask you about your black designated groups. How many of the shareholders are unemployed? How many are black people defined as youth? How many are persons living with disabilities? How many are living in underdeveloped areas? And the last one, how many are black military veterans? So just type in all of those. That part of the BIZPORTAL website. Then it asks you if you'd like to open a business bank account.
So it saves you the trouble of going to your bank and trying to open an account there. I mean, it's an easy process doing it on the website, but so is going to your bank. So whatever you feel comfortable with. For the purposes of this particular video, we're going to go with the cheapest account. So the accounts range from 80 Rand all the way to 5 Rand in service fees. My advice to you is to go and do your research before you click on any of these. So I've done my research and I'm very comfortable choosing this bank. They're not only reasonable, but also because it's a new business and we're not really sure of the income that's going to be coming in, I really don't want a lot of service fees. So just click yes, would like to open a bank account. Select the bank that you'd like to open it with.
And then once all of that is done, then we're almost complete. There's one more step in the process, and that's payment. So you can pay online or you can send an EFT. Paying online directly on the website makes it a lot easier because then it's approved instantly. EFT sometimes delayed depending on which bank you're sending it from, or you could do a direct deposit. But also we're on the website. It's a very safe, it's secured website. So just paying on the website makes it easier. Just press add to cart. Say pay now. And then it's going to give you a lot of options there. So now it shows what I have paid for all of my e-services. So company registration and name reservation, all totaling 175 Rand. Enter your card details.
And voila, I am done. My payment was successfully submitted and now I'm awaiting response from BIZPORTAL CIPC directly with all of my documentation. So it really took less than 10 minutes to do, and I've got a legally registered compliance company. So what they also will do is send you an income tax reference number, and that's what you're going to use at SARS. We will have a video on that later on in the series to explain how it works and how to register a profile with SARS, how to get your tax clearance certificates, making your life a lot easier. But for today, that's all. Hope to see you soon. Register your business. If you've got any questions, send me an email at buntle@barhelp.com. Catch me on social media at Miss Tole on all of the social media platforms. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Chat soon.